Keyboards, music, creativity, and being I almost said hands-on. But honestly, these are all things that I embody and resonate with. More importantly, you likely relate to as well. And I think I might have found the perfect MIDI keyboard to create with, travel with, and possibly even create your next hit. So I found this 25 key keyboard by Synido that's perfect for beginners and professionals alike. This is the Synido TempoKEY K25. Not only is it beautiful, lightweight, and extremely functional, but it's an amazing competitor to the Akai MPK Mini and the Arturia Mini Lab 3, if you ask me. But let's find out just how much it competes. First, we'll start with the unboxing. Then I'll walk you through a little bit of the features and how to connect it to your DAW or digital audio workstation. But here's everything that's included. Opening the box, we've got some beautifully saturated packaging with some details and some light instructions that I'll eventually walk you through anyways. But what you want to take away from it is that you can connect this thing to your laptop, computer, or even your mobile phone or tablet. So when you get it unwrapped, you got a carrying case and a handy little strap. But talking about that carrying case, for the price, it's actually a very warranted inclusion. I didn't expect it, but I sure appreciate it. It's small just like the keyboard, but it carries everything you need to create music on the go. Inside the baggie, you've got a bit of documentation and manuals and, a USB-C adapter, as well as a microfiber cloth. And trust me, you're gonna appreciate it with this stunning gloss finish on this MIDI controller that you rarely ever see. Also included is an extremely heavy-duty USB cable, my favorite color, a power cable that you might not even need to use considering you can also power this thing with your device, a MIDI to TRS connector in order to run external synthesizers, and finally, the Synido K25 controller. Now it's important to note that MIDI keyboards and controllers don't inherently create or come with sounds internally. They're only used to control whatever you load into them digitally or externally. That means your drum kits and your instruments, VSTs, things like that. At first glance, you've got a gorgeous MIDI keyboard with a gloss finish. They also offer a purple version too, which seems to pop out pretty nicely. The key press on the TempoKEY K25 is very responsive and velocity driven. It's also super compact and weighs almost nothing for real. There's 16 knobs broken into 2 banks that you can program, as well as 8 pads with 2 banks as well. So they're not the softest to the touch, but they're great for banging out those drum kit samples that are super duper easy to load up. On the top left, we have a pitch bending wheel. And it's not really even a wheel, it's actually a touchpad. And the same goes for the modulation pad, which will cause the loaded sounds to kind of wobble a bit, for lack of a better word. And so much more I'm super excited to show you guys, especially considering my 14 plus years in music production and being a recording artist. This thing is right under $100 too, and considering that price for what you get, this item really is a steal for new musicians and seasoned professionals alike. There's also a transport section right up here on the top. You can rewind, play, stop, record. But let's get this board linked in to connect and control your DAW music program. So my DAW of choice is typically Cakewalk by BandLab, which is an amazing program that's free of charge for Windows. But I recently picked up FL Studio on my M3 MacBook. I know there's a good amount of people who use that, so I'll work with that just to kind of show you guys the way. First, you need to hit Options, then click MIDI Settings. Considering it automatically connects with no drivers, pick the Synido K25 controller. Then hit Enable. That's pretty much it for getting it linked into your DAW. So depending on which one you use, it could vary a little bit differently, but most of the time you'll have a MIDI settings and you'll just find it there. If for some reason it doesn't link, I'm sure that you can get their driver program from the Synido website. But from there, once you get it connected, you can select your drum kits, VST instruments, things like that, man. Now, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper with the control options for the Synido TempoKEY K25, Synido also has a controller program that you can grab from their website. Once you've got that downloaded, which I have here, in order to sync the transport controls right down here, you're gonna wanna go to the program and click MMC options, which is like Mackie control, if you know what that is. This is what worked for me. I'm not sure if this works for every single DAW, but just follow along. After that, you wanna click Send to Hardware, and it should localize and work from there. Most importantly, you wanna select the port for your controller. In this case, it's just gonna be 1. Then hit Enable, and you're good to go. Now with the knobs, you'll go into your DAW and assign them pretty similarly. So here you have your knob banks here. If you press this button, you can access the second bank, which is the B. But first we'll be working with knob bank A. So that'll control all of these here. So I'm gonna open up the mixer here. Link to controller, boom. Channel 1, port 1. Control 1. That should be on KS1. So we'll hit accept there, boom. And you can see it right on the screen, that's volume. And then you just can go in there and set them all individually as you like. That's pretty slick, right? You also have an OLED screen and a main control knob, which will basically adjust your main volume for your master. There's a couple other features that you can use this for, but you'll see them as we proceed a little bit further along. Speaking of which though, on the Synido TempoKEY K25, there's also an arpeggiator, which changes your inputs to do different tremolations. And along the top, we've got different timings that you can select, as well as tap the tempo to match the tempo of your project, all of which can be programmed as you record. So it's actually pretty simple to figure out on your own, so I won't be going over the setting up the pads, but if you did want me to make a video about that, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Also, if you're wondering how you access any of the other octaves, since this is such a small keyboard or MIDI keyboard controller, you just have to use this octave up or octave down or octave up key in order to change the whole octave, so you're not just limited to one octave. Now for a little demonstration of what you can do, including chords and some drums on this thing, man. Tune in. Got all our pads loaded in. You know, throw a little quick little drum kit pattern in there for you guys, but I want to pull up some keys and see what we can craft up there. Something like that. Yeah, bro, this thing is very solid no matter what level you are along your journey. If you were interested in purchasing the Synido TempoKEY K25 MIDI keyboard, I of course have a link down in the description if you want to support the channel. And this is also not sponsored, but they did send it over for a review, so it's pretty awesome. If you had any questions, I'm actively responding in the comment box below. Much encouragement to you and your musical journey, man. Get out there and make some hits. You already know what time it is. If you're interested in hearing more of my music, my performer's name is Young Mill and I have music on Spotify and Apple Music. Link also down in the description. Hit that subscribe button for more tech and audio videos, and I hope your day is amazing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.